Okay, are we streaming? Are we live? I'm so bad at this. Hold on, let me go to my... Am I live on YouTube right now? View channel. Okay, we are live. Bang! Let's go. All right, this is so new. I don't even know how to look at the chat while I stream. Am I going to get any viewers? Doubtful. All right. I'm leaving that up there. Okay, cool. I guess I can probably have the chat open on my phone, right? Yes. Okay. Okay, bang. If I have viewers and I'll leave this up there. I think I'm the one viewer. Okay. Where are we at? Bearish on the 4 hour. I'd also say bearish on the 1 hour. So let's look at our prominent draws. We have relative equal lows. What's up, Marquise? First stream. This might suck, but I've had a couple people that really want me to do some back testing live. So if you have any feedback, let me know. Okay, so we have our liquidity here on NASDAQ, sell side, because this looks overall pretty bearish. Could mark that out, but I don't think it's going to be necessary. Let's do the same thing on ES. And this is what I would do, by the way, going into... wow. These are not correlated right now. This is what I would do going into any day. Is that the South Africa flag, Carlos? Americans are notoriously bad at geography. I think that's South Africa. Hold on, let me look it up. I think that's South Africa, right? Come on now. I'm not that bad. I don't know what I'm talking about. Appreciate the love, man. Wow, so this is a day where I might not even really be looking at... Hold on, let me zoom out here. Because this structure is pretty similar. Yeah, I still think I'm bearish here. If anything, it's just a really big overnight. This is just a really big SMT, I think. So yeah, this is definitely just reaffirming my bearish bias. Let's drop down on NASDAQ to the... Let me make sure that we're actually at the right time too. We're at 11 a.m. Damn, I completely did this for the wrong time. Whatever, I guess we can still do it as if it's not market open. And we're also just chopping right now, so that's not horrible. So market open was the... Yeah, so we've only just been... Okay, so we're actually not missing out on too much price action. So price is just consolidating right now. Let's keep looking. We do have a 15-minute bullish fair value gap here, or some might call it a BISI. By some, I mean me. So I want to see how we treat this. So if I'm looking to go lower here, what I want to see is displacement through this low, and I'd look for a continuation lower because we're not going to catch a reversal right now. So we would want to see displacement, which we're not getting. We're having a really bullish reaction to this gap. And same deal, we're not displaced. We're kind of just accumulating right now. Let me go to the 15-minute on ES. We do put in a bullish SMT, but I'm not entering purely off of a bullish SMT. I would need to see a break of structure to the upside here. But instead, we're actually starting to displace a little bit. Let me look on the 5-minute. Now, I'd want to see us displace through these lows before I feel comfortable entering short, which we don't get. But now we put in a bearish SMT with the 1030 highs. So 1030. I guess NASDAQ did take these, but I guess we call it 1055 highs. But whatever, we have an SMT. So let me drop down to a lower time frame and see if I can catch a break of structure. We do have a change in the state here. This just might be a little bit premature. Price action really sucked this day. Didn't really find anything. Yeah, I would not be trading that price action if that was the case. I mean, there wasn't really any big displacement moves, which kind of sucks. I guess on market open there was, but we didn't get to see market open play out. Let's go forward. And we will do the same top-down analysis. Probably only going to be going until 8 o'clock Central, so about 45 minutes. Okay, so let's go, again, top-down analysis. We did displace to the upside. Again, if we look here, we have high, low, and then we kind of accumulated, and then we look at this last high here. We did displace through that, and we also showed a bullish reaction to this 4-hour gap. So now I'm looking at draws on liquidity on the 4-hour, right? We have double tops here on NASDAQ. We have all-time highs here on NASDAQ. And today is market open. So this is Monday. So let's see how we're looking on ES. On the 4-hour, we have a really big SMT. That sucks. So ES has already taken all-time highs. But that's one bearish confluence to the rest being bullish. So let's drop down to the 1-hour. We never saw displacement. I guess we did. We did displace through these lows on the 1-hour. So what I'd be looking at is, can we displace through these highs on the 1-hour? And that's when I'd feel, or actually I would probably drop down to like a 15-minute and see if we can displace through these highs. And if not, I'd be looking to take shorts. Like if we invert this 15-minute gap and we push through these lows, that's when I'd be like, okay, let's start targeting the sell side liquidity, because that's the market telling me that we don't really want to go higher. So if we displace lower like we do right now, okay, let's drop down to the 3-minute. We inverted this 3-minute gap and we respected this. We inversed the 3-minute bullish gap, which is actually, it's probably a 5-minute gap if I'm being honest. Let's look at this. Yeah, so with fair value gaps, you want to make sure you chart them all out. So let me see if this candle closes. Yep, and then I'd look for a retracement to the CISD on the 1-minute, and I'd be looking to enter here in a minute. Actually, this is a fine entry too, just right here. Unless we just so happen to put in an SMT. So let's make sure we did not do that. Wow, they're very, I'm not even looking at ES because we're so uncorrelated. Okay, yeah, we close respectfully here. I'd put stops above the last down move. But I don't get great RR here if we do want to push lower. But we do have triple bottoms here, which is a pretty strong draw. But we're also so deep into discount here on our opening range. And what lows are these? These are market open lows. So market open swept these lows. We sweep these highs. I'm going to take this trade for the sake of backtesting because it looks good. Again, I don't know how it plays out in the context of all-time highs, but we do want to take a look at that. So let's see if this plays out. Might just beeline to our stop loss. So we did take this internal liquidity here. I might just de-risk here. So we went from risking 500 to now we're risking 200. Once we take this internal, I'll go break even. We take that low, let's go break even. And we take profit. Okay, cool. So that was a true 1 to 1.5, I believe. A little bit more. Let's see how much more we dump here, or if we do dump at all. So no, we just take out those lows and continue higher, it looks like. All right, 1 for 1 on the session. I actually think my journal looks a lot messier because I traded here the other day. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 total trades, 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now we're at 60% win rate, it looks like, but we're up $2,000 on the account. So over 5 accounts, by the way, on Top Step, that's $10,000 in profit in 2 weeks. That's how I'd be looking at this. If I'm backtesting, I want to make it, when I'm backtesting, I want it to be as relatable to the conditions I'm used to trading in. One, for psychology purposes, but two, mainly just for psychology purposes. You know, so make sure you're risking the same amount you would be risking on your top step accounts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we're gonna do the same thing here. If you're tapping in, basically I'm just back testing right now. What I want to do is I want to show you guys how I do my top down analysis. And also I'm just getting some back testing in. You know, we had a pretty solid day today. So one more hour is, whoa, look at that big daddy Drake candle to the downside. Let's let this candle close. Now, I don't know. You guys tell me in the chat. Are we feeling bullish or are we feeling bearish? Tell me in the chat if we're feeling bullish or if we're feeling bearish. I just realized how bad my latency is too. I'm probably not going to be able to. Wait, can I pull up chat right here? I can, but hold on. Let me do that. Let me do something really quick, guys. Sorry, I'm so new to streaming. Bear with me. I'm going to go full screen on Facecam for a second. I want to adjust a couple things. Myth, I appreciate that, bro. That means a lot to me, dude. Yeah, 100% bearish. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. I got to change something. I normally don't go live, Retta, but I decided that it's something I should be doing to hold myself accountable. I got really comfortable not back testing. I'm trying to fix something that I'm on display capture. I'm so bad at streaming because I want to be able to look at the chat too. You know what? Fuck it, whatever. Let me just plug this in really quick. I'll use my phone to look at chat. Not a streamer, chat. Not a streamer. Yeah, it's bearish. 100% bearish. And I'm going to show you why I would have a bearish bias going into this day. So what I'm trading right now, by the way, is this is previous all-time highs in March of 2024. So this is all-time highs right here. Or this is all-time highs right here. Now, when I'm looking at this chart, the first thing I see is this really big 4-hour buy-side imbalance, sell-side inefficiency, or bullish fair value gap. If we look on NASDAQ and on ES, we absolutely ran this imbalance right here. And we also saw displacement to the downside. So if we look at these lows right here, they got absolutely ran through. So that's the market telling me, hey, I probably want to go lower. Now, that's not all I'm using for my bias. We also have a really high time frame SMT. With, I believe it's these highs right here, right? Yes, so ES takes out these highs right here, and NASDAQ does not. So another thing that tells me, I think, where did we take out these highs? It was, hold on, I'm trying to get chat pulled up too, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. But yeah, long story short, this is looking bearish to me. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get to my stream. There we go. What's up, chat? Myth, I trade continuations and reversals. So this is probably going to be a continuation. I'm not looking to catch a reversal here, most likely. Let's drop down into the hour and see if I change my mind. Because who knows, we might put in a model that looks like a reversal model. So let's look at these lows right here. So what I see, let's go, let me see where these lows, I want to get all of these stacked lows at once, basically, because I feel like this is a low resistance liquidity run. So I could see price going a little bit lower, but I could also, oh, we already did take out these lows. Okay, so NASDAQ takes out these lows right here. So ES does not take out these lows. So when I see something like this, right, Isaac, we have a bearish SMT and we have a bullish SMT. Oh my goodness, what do we do? So what was the purpose of this SMT? Clearly the purpose was to allude to the fact we want to take out all of this sell side liquidity. Job is finished. The sell side liquidity got ran. We're not just going to run a million points to the downside. So because these lows got swept, which I didn't see they got swept at first, we sweep these lows inside of this higher time frame bullish fair value gap, and we put it in an SMT. So on the higher time frame, I'm actually feeling bullish. Some people might look at this and say bearish, and I'm not making my decision at this very moment. What I'm going to look for is I'm going to see if our continuation model shows itself, or excuse me, our reversal model shows itself. So let's see what happens. Let's drop down into a 15-minute time frame. 15 minutes. Yeah, I agree too, Myth. Also, yeah, for sure, the fact that we're so deep into a discount, one of the reasons that price moves is actually a great little tip. There's 4 reasons that price move. 1 is to hunt liquidity. 2 is to generate liquidity. 3 is to rebalance to inefficiencies. I did not spell that right. We're going to go rebalance to FVGs. And number 4 is rebalance to equilibrium. So these are the 4 reasons that price moves. So it's actually a great point. Why would what is the reason that price would want to move at all right now? We already took liquidity. We already rebalanced to this gap. So now we're going to have to either rebalance to a fair value gap or rebalance to equilibrium. And if we look, we've created a whole bunch of fair value gaps here. So we're going to see how this plays out. I'm not going to take like a long off of nowhere. What I'd want to see is I'd want to see displacement higher on a higher time frame. So like, for example, if we inverse this 15-minute gap, we want to make sure this SMT stays valid too. So I'm actually going to mark it out like this. I like to do that when I'm looking at ES, so I can just briefly see if this SMT holds. Because if this SMT doesn't hold, we might want to continue lower. So now what I want to see is displacement through this high if I'm going to take a long. Okay, now I want to see displacement through these highs if I were to go long. Okay, so we do displace through these highs. On the 3-minute, that looks pretty good. We also create a fair value gap. I wonder if we happen to put in an internal SMT as well. Oh, it doesn't look like it. I might want to see a little bit more before I feel comfortable entering long. Again, because the trend has been overall so bearish. Maybe if we revisit this gap and have a bullish reaction to it on the 3-minute. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be looking too much at the 1-minute here. But we did displace over these highs. We have a 5-minute gap too. When does this candle close? Okay, we have a 5-minute gap now. Kind of got to lock in here. We also have a pseudo change in the state. I wouldn't feel horrible taking it. I don't think this is a horrible long setup. We're also being respectful of this 5-minute gap here. Let me look on the 1-minute. Yeah, I'm probably going to go. I would go long here because we've had a market structure shift. We're clearly bullish now on the 1-minute. We're clearly bullish on the 3-minute. We're clearly bullish on the 5-minute. So a lot of our time frames are lining up, and on the higher time frames, we have that SMT. Now, the only thing here is where's our liquidity, right? So where's the market going to want to rebalance to? Potentially here. But let's also look on the higher time frame if we've created any imbalances. What do you know? We've created a fuck ton of imbalances. So let's actually just look at equilibrium and let's target that, right? So I'd go to my fib retracement tool and I would look at this range right here. So my final TP target, which I might not let it run the whole way through, but I want to target equilibrium. So this is an 8R. Let me talk about this for a second. A thing about reversals is going to be higher RR, lower win rate. So I might extend this stop loss just a little bit underneath this imbalance right here. So let's place this order. I would actually size down considerably. I messed up. Actually, let me cancel this because I would size down on a trade like this. Oh, this might fuck up the win rate, but whatever. If I was on my actual account, right? If I was trading this live and I had 5 XFAs, I would not be risking $500 on this trade. I would probably risk more like $200 on this trade because this trade isn't. It's a lower probability model. That's what you have to understand about these higher RR trades, is that they are lower probability because you're banking here that price is going to run, I don't know, 100 points. Let me see how many points this is. How many points am I projecting this is going to run? So like my final TP is 120 points. Now, are we going to catch 100 points at 10:30? Who knows? No, I do not use OTE and standard deviation. I've been looking at standard deviation. It's just not something that, oh, I might just get cooked here immediately. Yeah, we got cooked immediately on that one. Holy yap, am I right? Let me see where price wants to go here. Do we ever end up continuing higher? Not really, no. We do eventually, but this is closer to market close. Let me zoom out on this again. So again, we do end up getting a bearish or bullish reaction here. Let me see if there's a better entry. That's the point of back testing too. We're not just gonna be like, oh, we lost, go to the next one. I kind of want to see why this didn't play out. I think we entered right here. This was the position. Let me pull this up again. Yeah, that was actually a really good short setup apparently. So I think we entered here. We had our stops below the fair value gap. So let me just see how this plays out. So yeah, I mean, we just immediately get dunked on. Let's be honest. We get dunked on in this trade. Damn, what do we retrace to here? I mean, the draw on liquidity does eventually, or not the draw on liquidity, but we eventually, do we end up taking equilibrium here? I need to go a little bit further in. Do we end up rebalancing to equilibrium? No, we don't. We consolidate. Huh. Interesting. Now, I'm not a savant. I can't say exactly why that didn't work, but that is the model. I wouldn't be mad if I took that trade and I ended up losing it. That's just, you know, a lower probability setup. So I went too far. Damn it. Did I? Maybe I didn't. Go to the 1 minute here. Are we at 9 a.m.? No, I went too far. Damn it. I'm sure I would have caught that move, guys. I would have caught that move. I would have caught that move for sure, ski. Okay, let's go to the next day market open. Again, what I will say is, got a question. I also did a reversal continuation. Yeah, for sure. Aligning your bias with your, that's the key with trading. The key with winning your trades is aligning the higher time frame draw on liquidity with your entry. Like here, for example, right? I was technically correct on the draw on liquidity, right? I kind of knew where price wanted to go, right? I knew that we want to rebalance the inefficiency and equilibrium. That was just a bad entry on my behalf. That's why we're back testing. Oh, you know, okay. Sorry, my bad. I didn't get your question. So reversal would look like this. So imagine like what we just saw. Price is going down. Price is going down. But then we reverse, right? This would be a reversal right here. So like if you were going to catch this move, this would be a reversal because you're catching the reversing move. A continuation would be catching a continuation of an already existing trend. So that would be like, you know, catching this trade. This would be a continuation. Oh, how do you know? Yeah, this is how you know. So you kind of just want to look at what the chart looks like, right? So if we are overall bearish on a higher time frame, like for example here, the reason I wanted to take this trade is because it looked like a reversal, right? Yesterday, right? The day that I was mocking out here, this is overall really bearish market structure. But I felt that we might get a reversal, which I was partially right on. I just got the timing wrong. So like an example here is like if you're catching shorts anywhere in this move here, you're catching a continuation. So basically, are you trading with the higher time frame trend or are you trading against the higher time frame trend? Neither one is a good or a bad thing. It's just that's the difference between a continuation and a reversal. But anyways, let's get back to it. Usually I'd wait for sell side liquidity, then bullish. Yeah, that's not bad either. It's not bad. What I love about trading is that there's a lot of different ways to be successful. So what do we got here? So no SMTs that it looks like. So again, we did get a reversal, right? We were bearish, we sold off, put in that. So we were right about price wanting to reverse. We just didn't catch the entry that we wanted. Now here, again, I'm feeling bullish. Nothing about this looks bearish to me. We do have this bullish fair value gap that we might want to revisit on both NASDAQ and ES. Another thing you might notice is I'm always waiting for the macro to open. I rarely take trades before 9 a.m. So let's drop into the 15 minute and see if there's anything funky. Anything in the 50. Oh, actually, let's do this too. Just mark out our draws on liquidity. I need to make a preset for this because this is not how it looks when I do it on trading view. Why don't I make it blue? All right, and then I will save this as draw on liquidity. Okay, there we go. So we have a couple draws up here. And then, of course, we have all-time highs. So let's mark these out, see where they're at on ES2. So, yeah, these are all the way up here on ES. So I'll just mark out that. Because we're probably not looking much at ES today, but, you know, we might look for internal SMTs. So let's drop down to the 15 minutes, see if there's anything worth noting. No, kind of same deal. We're getting a bit of a pullback. Again, we do have more displacement to the upside. We push through that high. And we'd want to see us hold this 15-minute gap bullish. So I'm actually going to move that like this because this is what's really important. Whenever you see two fair value gaps kind of sandwiched together like this, you want to look at them like one thing. Let me see if I can show you manipulation. The easiest way to identify manipulation is through SMTs. Sometimes you're just going to get cooked, right? Nobody can predict the market with 100% certainty. But the way that I like to tell if it's manipulation, like for example, sometimes you'll see something called turtle soup, which is like we have all these stacked highs here. Let's say, for example, ES shot up and then took out all these highs and then immediately went back down. That would be turtle soup. That's why you want to wait for displacement. So one answer is be patient. Macro is important because I kind of trade PO3, like I'm about to show you right here, right? So like we have accumulation right here. I'm also going to try to see if I can find any manipulation for you. Let me actually do this. Is there any manipulation here? Doesn't look, no SMTs being put in. So we're accumulating right now. And is this an SMT? I can't really tell. No, not quite. Looks like we're about to get one though, potentially. Okay, so to answer your question, both questions. Why is the macro important? Because 9 a.m. PO3. And how do you identify manipulation? Right here. We are overall bullish, right, as we dissected from our top-down analysis. How did I learn to trade? Doing what you're doing right now. Just being obsessed with it. Spending as much time as I can. So here, this is how I identify manipulation personally. Right? We put it in an SMT at these lows. Right? We have literally right before the 9 a.m. macro, we put in these lows inside of this fair value gap right here over to the left, mind you. Right? ES does not take these lows, but NASDAQ does. So again, I would say here with reasonable certainty, that's manipulation. Let's look and see if we're correct. But we actually ended up taking out those lows. So I'm just going to eat my words on that, I suppose. So we sweep these lows, changing the state. Again, a big part of my strategy is an SMT. So I'm going to wait for one of those to be in my favor. We could put in one here soon because we're just accumulating right now. This, by the way, guys, is shit you do not want to be trading. This choppy price action, don't bend to the market. Wait for the market to show something that you like. I don't see anything I like here. And again, right now I'm only looking for bullish confirmation. So let me look on the 15-minute here. Did we just take out any prevalent lows? Yes. NASDAQ takes these lows. ES does not take these lows. So this could be manipulation. So again, we're going to be patient. We're not just going to say, oh, I see an SMT, we're going to take this trade. No. We're going to wait to see if this is truly manipulation. Let's bring this low down to make sure that this SMT holds. And then when would I feel comfortable entering a trade here? If we see if we see strong displacement through this high, that's the market telling me we're ready to go higher. And if we don't get that, we just don't take the trade. It's as simple as that. I guess I'd actually be looking for this on ES. So I might look on the 5-minute or the 3-minute, and I'd look for a swing high for us to displace through. So I guess the 1 minute will do for now. Let's just kind of see what we get. It's not horrible, but it's not really the displacement move I'm looking for. If we can get a strong displacement above these highs on ES, I'd feel comfortable taking longs. Again, we have the SMT inside of a higher time frame PD array. It's good enough for me, I think. Let me look on the 1 minute. Is there anything else I need to see before I feel comfortable taking a long? We have plenty of generated buy-side liquidity. Yeah, clean change in the state. The only thing that I would say would maybe make this, I could have taken this right here, but we didn't really displace these highs quite yet. So I'm going to take this entry here. We're going to put our stops at this last move up. And then I'll probably move break even once we take this high. And I'll target, you know, these highs up here for a 2R. Can I not buy? I was about to say, can I not buy? How much are we risking here? We're going to risk 1%. Again, another thing, like if I lose this trade, so be it, but I feel pretty confident. We do take that internal high, but now that I'm looking at it, it's a bit premature to go break even. I don't even really know if I can reduce risk quite yet. Let me look on the 15-minute. I guess we'd probably want to see this 15-minute gap hold, so we can reduce risk to, yeah, about 200. So now we're risking 287 to make 977. My reasoning for that is that if we're going to hold bullish here, we also just had a 15-minute change in the state. We shouldn't really need to go any lower, is kind of my thought process. And then I'll go break even at these highs. So let's get rid of that, and then I would label this out break even. Again, why would I go break even at these highs? Because, again, theoretically, this gap should hold, and we shouldn't need to revisit that gap, which would be my break even. So let's see this trade play out. Let's go 5 minutes at a time. I don't really want to sit here and wait for it. Okay, so now we're going to go break even, which is actually pretty fair because we have a lot of stacked lows here. We shouldn't really want to take those. There we go. We take profit. That was a pretty solid trade. And again, that's really the model that we look for. Let's see if we end up pushing any higher. Oh, what do you know? We take these highs and then we continue lower. Pretty solid trade. Okay. Also, the reason I took this trade on the S&P and not NASDAQ is because, who can tell me why I took this trade on, I'll zoom out for you. Who can tell me why I took this trade on ES and not NASDAQ? Why did I take this trade on ES and not NASDAQ? There's 11 people watching. Why did I take this trade on ES and not NASDAQ? Also, I hope it's not like super laggy because I just sat there for a long time. Okay, I'll answer it. Maybe someone answered it, but there's delay. Because of the SMT. ES was the, yes, Hunter, the SMT. ES was the lagging index. You always want to take your trades on the lagging index. 100%. Now, oh, this is interesting. We have a sell model presenting potentially. Let me see if this played. Hold on, I am curious about this. I'm not going to just like dive into an entry, but we did put in an SMT at the highs. Yes, the lagging market. Lagging index, I think would be correct. But you could maybe call it a market. I'm not totally sure. So we do have an SMT at these highs, and now NASDAQ is the lagging index. So let's see what we get here. Because these are New York session highs. I'm going to put this up here again. Just so I like to do it like this, so it's really easy for me to see if the SMT gets invalidated. If the SMT gets invalidated, we'll go to the next day. But the SMT does not get invalidated. In fact, we displace underneath these lows. Chat, it's looking like a sell model. It's looking like a sell model. But how do we make sure that this here isn't manipulation? Let's go to the 1 minute on ES and make sure, yep, ES in fact took these lows. We have a clean change in the state to the sell side. We also create what looks to be a breakaway gap. I'm going to enter for the sake of back testing because we do have a ton of stacked sell side liquidity. I just want to see how far this runs. I'll put my, am I tripping? Is this, oh, okay, I was about to say, that shouldn't be the lagging index. So I'll put my stops at the high that create the SMT in a situation like this, and I'll just target all this stacked sell side liquidity. All right. It's a 3R. Yeah, I'd risk about 500 on this because it's not, that's not super high RR. Anything above 5R, I would reduce my risk because that's incredibly low probability. Not incredibly low, but it's going to be much lower probability than a 1R, so to say. Let's see if this one plays out. It's not in line with the higher time frame narrative, but on the lower time frame, it makes sense. We also are inside of a higher time frame order block. So let's find out. Drop down to the 1 minute and let's see how this goes. Nice. We get some nice displacement here. Let's make sure we're not putting in any SMTs. Ooh, big time SMT. Yeah. Okay. So here, when there's when I see something like this, right? When I see something in the middle of my trade that I really don't like, I'm just going to close my position, right? Here, I'm basically securing a 1-to-1R. But you know what? Maybe I should practice good habits. We are back testing after all. Is there anything here outside of this SMT that would make me think the NASDAQ doesn't want to push lower? I'm going to say no. So maybe in this situation, I just lock in 300, right? On Top Step, I secure my winning day for a payout, and we go break even. I think that's fair. Instead of just, yeah, and look at that. We end up taking full profit on that. That's all. We actually even push lower. Oh, tell me this shit doesn't work, chat. Tell me this shit doesn't work. Look at this move. Look at this move. What is that? How many points is that? Look at that move. Can I get some freaking W's in the chat? W's in the shot. W's in the shot. You have some W's in the chat? I should have let it run more. Holy hell. What are we even targeting here? What the fuck are we targeting? Leave runners on. Oh my God. Leave your runners on. Oh my God. What are we doing? What is this? Dude, I just missed out on generational wealth. That's crazy. I normally don't. That's you guys. You do. Okay. Maybe you think I'm overreacting. That's a crazy big move. Where's the tool I'm looking for? How many points? That's like 300 points. Jesus Christ. Leave runners on, chat. Jesus Christ. Up $4,000 on the session, by the way. That's why we practice good habits. Absolutely. That's funny, dude. That's a 3. Now, I've been in the game for a little bit. That's a huge move. That's a huge move. I have a video of me catching a similar trade to that. I think I caught it live, but maybe I didn't. That's crazy. That's hilarious. That's why we practice good habits, dude. Look at that freaking Daddy Drake candle. Holy hell. Hey, reversal model. That was the reversal model right there. That was the reversal model. We break structure on the lower time frame, higher time frame SMT. Come on now, chat. Don't tell me this shit don't work. Practice good habits. All right, let's go to the next day. I'm done tooting my own horn. I'd expect to see some sort of rebalancing act after this. Yeah, Trump. Trump must have tweeted, I agree. Yeah, Trump would have just gotten inaugurated around this time, right? Yeah, Trump. That makes sense. Makes sense. All right, let's keep going. Also, can I get a? Where are my milk connoisseurs at, by the way? All my people who drink milk. Where are we at? I don't understand lactose intolerance, bro. Just tolerate it. Just tolerate it. Okay, so here again, bullish. The thing is when you take reversals, you don't really know where TP is, even if you're sure about the buys. Yeah, you can never be 100% sure about, oh yeah, price is going to dump 300 points, right? But on that move, again, let's go back here a little bit because that's a good point. You don't have to know where price is going to go. All you have to know is like the general direction of where price is going to want to go. So when I was looking at this, right, what are the things that I'm looking for to feel confident entering this trade? It was the fact that we had a market structure shift on the lower time frame, right? Where again, we are overall bearish on overall bullish on the higher time frame. But again, we put in that manipulation leg, right? Which is, how do we know that we're pushing higher versus manipulating? 1, an SMT, and 2, a lack of displacement. So if we look on ES, how could we tell that we were manipulating when we took those highs? I'm not exactly sure. I wish I could show chart executions on here. It was somewhere around here that I took that. I think it was like right. Yeah, I think I took it right here. Right? Yeah, so when we see ES take these highs, we don't really see displacement through the high, right? We see one candle closure over this high, and then we see accumulation, right? Which, you know what I mean? Like, we're not displacing higher. Plus the fact we have an SMT, and the fact we have a market structure shift on the lower time frame, and the fact that we respect this lower time frame gap, it's telling me that price is going to want to go lower. 100%. Learn about SMTs. SMTs, I don't trade without them to some extent. Whether it's a higher time frame SMT, internal SMTs, it's going to tell you a lot more about the draw and liquidity, right? So when I see all those, this is the thing about trading, is it's kind of like a puzzle. Like, where is price telling me that it wants to go? So when I see all those puzzle pieces, I just know price wants to go lower, right? So I'm thinking, okay, maybe we take out these lows, maybe we take out these lows, and then I'll leave runners to, like, the market open lows. Now, am I going to complain that I missed a 300-point move? No, because there's no way I could have known that. So that's the thing about sticking to a model and sticking to a strategy. That trade, if I had taken it with real money, I closed half of my position at 750 and the other half at like 500. I made like $1,000 off that trade. Over 5 accounts, that's $5,000. Are you ever going to be mad making $5,000 in a day? Absolutely not. I see people saying that all the time. Oh man, I should have taken that. Oh, I should have taken. No, you shouldn't have. Your model didn't present itself. Let's get back to it. Okay, so 4 hour, it's going to be bearish. But again, today might be the type of day we have a reversal. Did NASDAQ sweep these lows? It's so hard to tell. It looks like NASDAQ did sweep these lows. Yes. No? Yes? Oh my goodness. That's like, no, NASDAQ did not sweep these lows. So this is not an SMT. Not an SMT. Maybe on the 1 hour there's an SMT. No, there's not. There's no SMT on the 1 hour. Ain't that something? Okay, no SMT. So we don't have the SMT on the higher time frame. Yeah, 100%. You got to know which SMTs are valid and which SMTs are not. You also have to know when an SMT has served its purpose. Think about that. What's the purpose of an SMT? The way to tell if it's really the move or not is to be patient and see if you displace. Displacement is the number one thing, because you don't want to get caught up chasing price over 10 points, right? Oh, if I enter early here, I get an extra 10 points. But then you get faked out and your stop loss is getting smoked by NASDAQ. We do have this hourly SMT. So we have a bearish SMT. Again, I just feel a little apprehensive taking shorts after the really big displacement move that we had. But we also haven't displaced over these highs. I think the best SMT is after a sweep. An SMT sort of is a sweep. Like if you think about it, this SMT on NASDAQ is sweeping these highs, but ES isn't sweeping these highs. But let me lock in for a second. I still wouldn't feel confident saying that we're bullish on the 15-minute. It's kind of just accumulation. We haven't displaced over these highs. Okay, SMT gets invalidated. And we fail to displace. Again, this could be manipulation, right? I'm not confident taking a long off of the fact if you zoom into the 5-minute, but on the 15-minute, I'm not super confident. Right? I need to see more before I feel confident taking a long here. No, I wait for the macro to open, but I don't trade silver bullet. I don't really trade like any specific model. I just trade confluences and I try to look at the puzzle pieces and I try to put together a story. Oh, this is not, what am I looking at right now? Why did you guys not tell me that was not New York market open? You guys are not looking out for me. I'm guessing you have to pay for futures on FX Replay. Whoa, look at that. That was a big Daddy Drake. Oh, I think I'm feeling bullish, but we're going to find out. But yeah, I don't know. I've always traded, I've always back tested on FX Replay. So I'm not exactly sure. Okay, so following this big move down, I think we're literally just we're kind of in equilibrium. So here, I'm not totally confident if we're bullish or bearish. Again, we had a big displacement move down, then a big displacement move up. So I kind of just want to wait for the market to paint me a picture. No SMTs in the higher time frame. We're in the middle of this gap here. So are we going to inverse it? Are we going to reject it and continue lower? We're basically, again, right in the middle of equilibrium. So we'll kind of just have to wait and see what the market gives us. What we can do, again, we have a lot of low resistance liquidity to the sell side. We do have double highs on NASDAQ. That's going to be a super strong draw. I'll mark that out because we might want to run that. Here's those same highs on ES. And again, we have some highs resting over there too, but I doubt we'll get a move that big. Maybe we do. So the 15-minute is bullish right now. That's that. The 15-minute is definitely bullish. So let's just kind of see what price wants to do. If we displaced under these lows, I would think, okay, maybe we're going to be bearish for the day. We're not really getting displacement in either direction. Kind of just accumulating right now, waiting for that manipulation leg to kind of show its hand. Let's drop into the 5-minute just so we can kind of see the accumulation a bit better. Again, if you're not familiar with accumulation, it's just kind of this horizontal price action. Like it's not really going up or down. It's kind of just moving sideways. You never want to be trading this, by the way. You want to wait for a breakout. Generated low resistance liquidity. We could turtle soup those lows. Wow, this is very... Is an SMT counted as soon as the candle closes, or if the price does or doesn't the overall move without paying attention to the closure? The closure of the candle doesn't matter for an SMT. The wick can put in an SMT. It's just about, if you're looking for displacement, then yes, candle closure matters. So like, for example, when you look at this wick right here, right, we saw this close over this candle, price revisited it, and then continued higher. That's displacement. And that's one of the main things that I look for, and that's market experience, is kind of just being able to tell when price is going to move. And a lot of times you can see displacement happen. Like, when you're watching the charts in real time and you see a really, really big move up and you get excited, but then it tanks right back down. You know what I mean? But anyways, let's keep clicking here. Wow, did we really get... Oh, did I fucking misclick market open? You guys are not keeping me accountable, guys. I misclicked through market open. I was just watching Asia session, wondering why price action sucked. Okay. Okay. Let's drop into the 4 hour, see what price is looking like. And so this is a doji, and this type of candle means that we are expressing market uncertainty. It means that we are literally in equilibrium of our range for this 4 hour candle. This is the high of the candle. This is the low, open, close. This is a doji candle. We're just seeing uncertainty in the market. So we're not really getting anything from the higher time frame. You could argue that we're bearish, but on the 1 hour, I would argue this is bullish for the most part. We went higher, didn't displace through any lows. But yeah, we're kind of just going to wait to see what the market gives us once again. Drop down to the boom, boom, boom. But actually off rip, what I do see is this bearish or this bullish SMT. So that's one thing. Again, it doesn't completely make the model. Like, we're not going to enter just because we see this SMT. Do I plan on quitting my job? So yes and no. So this is a bit of lore. I work for my parents' company. Now, for reference, they have not funded my trading journey at all. But I like my job, and it also doesn't add any stress. Like, if anything, it takes away stress because I don't have to worry about trading being my full-time income. However, it is my goal to be trading full-time by the end of the year. Good question. Good question. So the answer is yes. That is the goal. I'm making more money trading than at my day job, but you know, it's also my parents' company and I love working there. So anyways, we have a bullish SMT and we're kind of just accumulating right now. Yeah, I'm gonna this is gonna be saved on my channel. It's not gonna get deleted. Appreciate you for tuning in, Myth. We're gonna go to the actually sort of the 5-minute candle. So again, when we're accumulating here, do you see the manipulation? These are things that you guys need to be able to see. This is the manipulation leg. We push, push, push. Then we have a really strong sell-off, but we don't displace. We're not displacing, and we create an SMT. This is also how you can find displace or manipulation without an SMT too. You see how one candle takes out the low, then we immediately come back up? That's not displacement. That's a liquidity sweep. So we sweep liquidity on NASDAQ. We put an SMT on the S&P. Let's go forward here a couple minutes. Now, where would I feel comfortable entering long? Definitely once we close above these highs in the 3-minute. And realistically, I'd want to see us... I need to see a little bit more than that. I'd probably want to see us inverse this 5-minute gap, realistically. But also, price action isn't going to be great for that. You know what I mean? There's not really a ton of draws on liquidity. I guess, you know, we have these highs and we have these highs that I'll mark out. Draw on liquidity. I guess we have some external liquidity, but we're kind of in a liquidity void right now. But I do want to see what ends up happening. Maybe we invalidate this SMT, but I don't know. I doubt it. But maybe it does. Maybe we do. So we're still accumulating. We do displace on the 5-minute. Now we need to see how we react to this gap. I'm actually going to drop down. Let's see if we retrace. Yeah, realistically, I would have entered right here. But yeah, let's just take this. Essentially, turtle soup and liquidity sweep is the same thing. Turtle soup is, let me find an example of turtle soup. Okay, so look right here. We didn't end up turtle souping, but let's say, for example, this candle right here, let's say its wick came down here. This would have been turtle soup, right? We just take all of these lows in one move. Whenever you see a whole bunch of stacked lows, it's usually after a period of accumulation. Whenever you see a whole bunch of stacked, like this is turtle soup right here. This move right here, this is low resistance liquidity, right? So this is trend line liquidity or low resistance liquidity. And then we see one big move that takes out the lows and sweeps them. That's turtle soup. So yes, turtle soup is a liquidity sweep. Yes, Smith, I'm going to post this on YouTube. Don't you worry. But I am taking this trade right here. I don't really think I'm going to let this one run. It's a 2R. Oh, it's not a 2R actually. Where do I want to put my stop loss? I'm just going to flip a coin here. Basically, I'm going to go 1-to-1 and I'll risk more. I'll risk more on these types of trades where it's a 1-to-1. So I'll risk 1,000. Because I think this is this type of trade is going to be higher than 50%. You know what I mean? Generally, let me not jinx it, but let's just go forward here. Wow, this is brutal price action. Wow, this is horrible. Did we put in an SMT right here? No SMT. We're just getting shit on. Yeah, so we lost that trade, which is so bizarre. But again, kind of expected that to not play out the way I wanted it to because we are in a liquidity void right now. We'll take one more and then probably call it a night. No, I've never paid for a course or a mentorship. Everything on the internet is free and available online. Now, what I will say is if you want to, learn from somebody and because the way I look at a course is if you don't know the right direction, which is, it's hard to find the direction for trading. Yo, what's up, man? Welcome to the chat. If you're new to trading and you want to pay for somebody's course, I don't look down on you. I know a lot of people who are successful have done that. I just personally have not. This isn't really the type of price action I want to be practicing. I was hoping to be closer to all-time highs, but I'll still take one more trade. Kind of want to get out of this liquidity void though. See, this just isn't really the type of price action I want to be trading. I want to get closer to all-time highs before I practice any more trades but then we just dump. This is not the type of market conditions that we're currently in. I've not left my job yet. It's probably not coming for a little bit. I mentioned this earlier. A liquidity void is a fair value gap. Liquidity void is, so for example, all-time highs is a liquidity void. There's no liquidity. When we look at an SMT, when we look at a fair value gap, liquidity void. There's no draw on liquidity to these voids. So that's why I don't like trading inside of a fair value gap. Because look what happened to us when we tried to trade inside of that fair value gap. Man, Pens fan, thank you for the verse, man. Numbers 6:24-26. God bless. Christ is king. Of course, respect to all religions out there, but I gotta give a shout out to my boy JC and them. Appreciate that, man. But yes, liquidity voids is exactly what it sounds like. It is somewhere on the chart that is void of liquidity, which is why price will often rebalance inside of these liquidity voids to create future liquidity, right? Like I'll just fast forward here. I'm sure at some point we'll revisit this gap and accumulate to create liquidity. So imagine entering price in this condition here. You're entering inside of chop because what we call chop is the market generating liquidity. So you do not want to be in the market when it's generating liquidity. You want to be in the market. It's like, let's say, for example, I want to catch the move out of here to take out this liquidity here. So if we come out of there and we take out this liquidity, right? I want these big, fast expansion moves taking liquidity. Java Leonard, appreciate it, bro. This is the first stream. Wait for the first one, bro. Claim your ticket. Punch your ticket. You can say you were here. But yeah, we're going to take one more trade. I'd much rather be closer to all-time highs, though, because that was kind of the goal of me back testing, was I wanted to practice all-time highs, which I don't know if you guys can tell, this is not all-time highs. I think we had all-time highs in June of last year, too. So if we can get to June, amen. Okay, boom, all-time highs. All right, let's take this, because all-time highs really fucked me in early July. So we are at all-time highs currently. let's get to New York market open right here. So, of course, when we're at all-time highs, we are going to be bullish 100% of the time. Anytime that we're nearing all-time highs, I'm never looking for shorts. I've been taking longs for like the past 2 weeks in a row. Any SMT skis? Doesn't look like it. I guess right now I don't really need an SMT to find my bias. Again, you should know your bias. Like, again, here we haven't displaced underneath any of these lows. There's no reason to think price is going to go lower. So let's go to the 15-minute. Basically, we're just wanting to catch a continuation move. So here we're accumulating. How did it get to be 12 p.m.? What the fuck? This is bullshit. I'll tell you shit I don't like is shit like that. All right, whatever. This is bullshit. All right, now we're not at all-time highs anymore. But I mean, again, here I think we were basically at all-time highs. Again, deals, it's the same thing. Just take longs at all-time highs. But here, I know what I just said, but like now, actually, there is reason to feel bearish. Bro, what the fuck am I looking at? Okay, boom. Did we displace underneath? We did displace under. Did we really displace? Did we really displace? I mean, I guess. Kind of. My IG, I'll drop it in the chat. Appreciate it, bro. And also, if you guys want to add me on Snapchat, I'll put that in there too. I had a link tree for like 2 weeks, and then I was like, this is stupid. At Purcells is my Instagram. Isaac.Purcells is my Snapchat. I post my entries every single day on Snapchat. So if you want to see what I'm trading in real time, Snapchat's going to be the best bet. I also shit post a lot on Snapchat, so if you want to get to know me more personally. So here we did not really, we did definitely displace to the downside here. And then we closed above these highs, but again, we did not see displacement on the 1 hour. This is weird, real weird. But we do put in this bullish SMT on the 1 hour. We do put in a bullish SMT on the 1 hour. But again, we have a clean change in the state of delivery to the sell side. But then we have a clean change in the state to the buy side. So again, so now when I'm kind of like, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, we're at all-time highs. We're probably going to want to push higher. Get rid of those, get rid of those. Zoom into the 15-minute. Also the fact that we have a bullish SMT. We might even go a little bit lower now on the 15-minute. Yeah, okay. So these are the lows that ES fails to take out. So we have market open. So we do have some internal liquidity on the buy side. Actually, a fair bit of internal liquidity. So I'm not really going to mark it all out. But we do have internal liquidity to the buy side. And we also, I would argue we don't really have a ton of sell side liquidity. Again, this is going to, what is this going to look like? It's going to be a liquidity void. We have like some swing lows and stuff like that. But like on the 4 hour, it's a liquidity void. There's not really any liquidity. So it's either we're going to rebalance and we're going to chop around in this range and I'm not trading, or we're going to see an expansion to the upside towards all-time highs. So let's see what we get. I'll probably watch the 5-minute. Is 5-minute reasonable? Yeah, probably, because I'd want to see some sort of market structure shift on the 5-minute. So I'd really want to see us close above these highs, and then I'll drop down to a lower time frame. Make sure this SMT doesn't get invalidated. Okay, now if I can see a close above these highs. Okay, so we do displace on the 5-minute. Do we create any sort of fair value gap? We do. So I want to see how this gets treated. Also make sure we're not putting in any SMTs. We are putting in an SMT. Perfect. But we continue to displace. We get a clean, pretty clean change in the state. I want to see some sort of retracement, though. I want to see a pullback into this gap. We might not get it, though. We might just see expansion. See, so I would have entered right there. Whatever, right? I'll chart this out. Actually, I'm going to chart it out how I would have taken the trade. I'm just going to let it play out. Because that's where I would have had a limit order resting there. So we don't really expect price to revisit this gap. So put stops there. And let's target, I mean, let's just see how high price wants to run, right? Leave runners on there. It's kind of out of curiosity. Again, I'm not going to press the button to buy and sell because, actually, no, fuck it. Whatever. Okay, let's imagine. I'll put my stops below here. We'll get a 3R, right? At best. Escape. And this is the last trade of the night. This is the last trade of the night. Last trade of the night. Last trade of the night. Hopefully it's a good one. Nope, and we get stopped out. All right. Well, I'm going to post this anyways. I think my win rate was pretty abysmal this backtesting session. Yeah, 56% with 1 to 3. I mean, so it's still profitable, but that was definitely not a great backtesting session. Definitely not a great backtesting session. But hey, we've taken what, $13,000 in payouts, $15K in payouts these past 3 weeks. Whatever. I know all my concepts. My strategy is good. Still not able to follow my rules. Already blowed 2 funded. I'm 15 now. I'm taking a few weeks break, and then I'll be able to buy 1 funded again. Man, what would my tips be? 2 funded accounts is nothing. I've probably blown 10 funded accounts. I don't know. I've blown a lot. It doesn't matter if you blow a funded account. Who cares? Like, when Steph Curry misses a 3, he doesn't really care. Like, I just did 50% back testing in front of live viewers. That's so embarrassing. I'm just kidding. It's really not. But like, that would be my mindset if I was scared of losing. Who cares? You're going to lose trades. You're going to blow funded accounts. You're going to have bad back testing sessions. But it's going to be what it is. Marquise, Carlos, I appreciate y'all, man. That's awesome. But yeah, so as far as your psychology goes, man, okay, so I'll be completely honest. I never really struggled with psychology. When you say not being able to follow your rules, if you're meaning like you're taking bad entries, as simple as it is, drop the trend cycle. I'm not taking trend. Lifetime natty. This angle just does wonders for me. That's why I use this angle. No trend. I still have my hairline. If I was on trend, maybe I don't have my hairline. No, I do. That's a W hairline. Can I get W hairlines in the chat if I do have a W hairline? But for following your psychology, I mean, just do it. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. It's like when people ask me, how do you go to the gym? Just do it. Fall in love with the feeling of executing properly. Spend more time backtesting and get better at recognizing A+ market conditions and A+ setups. Stop settling for bad trades. Like, I remember when I was new, I used to just enter in choppy price action and then blame, oh, price action sucks, that's why I'm losing money. No, it's because I was entering shitty price action. I was doing it to myself. So I guess the simple answer is just do it. But to go a step further, if you trade on your phone, uninstall your app from your phone when you enter a trade. So that way you literally can't alter the trade. Utilize Top Step's lockout feature. Utilize Top Step's minimum or maximum trade feature. And then also journal a lot too. I journaled a lot when I was new. I'll take a couple questions if you guys want to ask questions, by the way. I know there's 13 of you in here. I don't have any. I'm about to go to the gym, but if you guys have questions, let me know. From the moment I started trading how long till I got profitable, I think I made a video on this. It was 90 days. I didn't know how to trade, and then I was watching Togi. You guys know the Togurt. He's a very good influence. I was watching Togi, and he was with TJR, and I saw them trading, and I was like, how the hell is he doing that? So then I went and watched TJR, and I just watched his boot camp. I used a lot of ChatGPT as well. I made a game plan. I made structured action plans, basically. So like I had a date for when I wanted to pass my first combine. I had a date for when I wanted to get my first payout. I had a date for when I wanted to get multiple accounts. Also, this is not a plug, but watch my newest video. My newest video, I give you all the sauce that people make you pay for. At least I think. I think it's what people are making you pay for. My most recent video is how to actually make money trading funded accounts. Everyone just talks about strategy and art. Nobody talks about how to actually make money from prop firms. So tap into that. That's awesome. For journaling, I literally just used my iPhone. You don't have to get fancy with it, guys. You don't got to get fancy with it. Just open up pen and paper or your phone, type in the trade that you took and how you honestly feel about it. Like I'll read one out from when I was new because I don't journal anymore. Just the same reason I don't really backtest as much anymore because I'm very sound with my psychology. And the last journal entry that I had was March 21st. I've been trading since... Let me look. I'm not going to open up my Gmail because that would dox me. When was my first email from Top Step? Because I remember I paper traded for 2 weeks. So my first payout was May 9th. And I started trading funded account. I started... do I not have a... I guess I don't have... the very first day. Yes, I do. Do I? My very first day on a funded account was March 17th, and my first payout was May 9th, is what it looks like. That might be wrong. But yeah, I've been... Yeah, bro, thank you for the freaking plug. It's legit what everyone pays for. That's free sauce. I'm not selling shit. But if I start selling a course, y'all gotta tap in on that. I need a new cardi. So let me get back to my journal entry. My last journal entry was March 21st. I'll read it out loud for you guys. Hold on, let me dim the lighting for you guys. This was my last journal entry. There we go. March 21st. No fucking discipline at all. I started the day up $1,200. Only $1,000 from passing the combine. I then proceed to take not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 fucking losing trades in a row. My account balance went from 157,000 to 153,000 in a matter of 3 fucking hours. I'm so fucking angry with my lack of discipline. I need to figure out a set of parameters that tell me exactly when I'm done trading for the day. Thankfully, we didn't blow this account. This is fucking ridiculous. You see how honest I was with myself too? That's the thing about trading. Trading is not player versus player. Yeah, no, 5 fucking trades, bro. 5 losing trades. I can't even believe that. How do you take 5 losing trades in a day? Bro, but that's the thing. You got to be honest with yourself, bro. Nobody knows. That's another thing too. I regretted starting this channel when I first started trading because I felt like it was more pressure that I had to be profitable, which ended up working out for me because that was another thing too. I was like, if I take a bad trade, I have to talk about that in my channels, blah, 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 blah. Prop firms, I only trade Top Step marquees. I only trade Top Step. Top Step is the GOAT. But I've heard good things about alpha traders and my funded futures. I'm going to try them out within the next month and get back to you guys. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate the compliment. 10 times better than TJR? Come on now. Should I start posting on Instagram and TikTok? Rage baiting? Oh, yeah. That's actually the one thing I was really bad at was revenge trading. 100%. 100% was bad at revenge trading. So the parameters that I implemented was using Top Step's lockout feature. I don't use it as much anymore now because I have the discipline to know if the trade I'm going to take is actually high quality. So like today, for example, I took 4 setups. In my opinion, they were all good setups. I lost my first trade, my second trade was break even, and the last 2 trades were winners. The first trade shouldn't have been break even. I just moved my stop loss a little bit too early, so I re-entered on the same trade, profited, then had another winning trade. But the parameters were, just setting up maximum loss limits on Top Step, and then also understanding what time I'm done trading. And usually that time is about 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's about 12 p.m. or excuse me, like sometime in the afternoon I'm done trading because I don't like price action. But it was just honestly just me recognizing what I'm bad at. Like I'm bad at waiting forever for the markets. I'm bad at spending 2 hours in the trade. So I kind of learned myself through journaling and being in the markets in back testing, just kind of realizing what I liked. 100% Carlos, 100%. Your life outside the charts, I trade new Top Step. I trade Top Step X, new Top Step. Yeah, life outside the charts is super important, guys. Being healthy, also like having a job. Sorry, I almost just swore. Having a J word where you have consistent income to fuel your hobby. Because that's what trading should be. Trading should be a hobby. You guys should love it. I fucking love trading. Trading is so awesome. It's the coolest thing in the world. I love trading. I met somebody in real life for the first time who also trades NASDAQ. He was somebody who works at my gym, and I have the NASDAQ chain now. It's a chain that says NASDAQ. I'll show you guys next stream. It's super fucking badass. It's a chain that says NASDAQ. It's so fucking dope. Right. You got it. Yeah, the J word. I'm going to censor it. Don't worry. But yeah, so I met somebody who trades, and I'm so passionate about it. I am cussing. Sorry about that, guys. JOB. Hold on. Let me. That is an excuse. Most of us are in school and college. It's difficult to manage trading, studies, gym. Yeah, life is hard. Especially as a man. Life is hard. But that's good. You know what things feel best in life? The things that feel best in life are the things that are challenging. That's why you want a Lamborghini. That's why I want a Lamborghini. Right? I don't give a fuck about anything material unless it's hard to get. Because that's what makes it fun, is that nobody else has it. To have what others can't, you must do what others won't. So that's where you got to find passion in living life. Right? School, college, trading, studies, etc., etc. You got to love it, dude. Gotta love it. But yeah, hobbies outside of trading. Go to the gym. That's a big one for me. I make music, potentially new intro music if I ever make an intro. Make music, hang out with my friends, go out, clothes, shoes, jewelry, a lot of different things. What does that mean? Any other questions before I end stream? Any other questions? I don't even know what that means, but it seems funny. Rug puller Leonardo DiCaprio? What does that mean? I have no idea. We got 11 viewers still. Y'all are so loyal, bro. Y'all all stayed in here the whole time. Right, going once, going twice for final questions. Going once, going twice. Okay, he has a question. Absolutely, Carlos. God bless, man. Stay tapped in. Watch the news video if you haven't. I will stream more. I'll try to stream every night. I'll start using I'm going to hit the, really quick. I'm going to start using the community post feature more. So actually, let me just show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to start using, let me try to find one. You guys know what I'm talking about when you see it. If you guys are professional doom scrollers like me. Hold on. Where are they? Did they delete community posts from YouTube? No way. Dude, where's the community posts? You guys know what I'm talking about though, right? The community posts where it's like a wall of text. I'll start posting stuff like that when I'm going to go live. I'm going to stream more, hopefully. Not going to be forgetting about you when I cop the Lambo. So tough, Prodigy. Bro, this shit is fun. I appreciate y'all showing love, man. I did not know how this first stream was going to go, but I'm feeling really good. I'm currently cutting right now, so every day is upper body day because you don't build muscle on a cut. I do a little bit of legs here and there, but I'm basically doing all upper body when I'm cutting. We got to get down. I'm a bigger guy, guys. I'm a big guy, 6'3", 210. I gotta lose my gut. No Discord. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do plan, once this channel hits 10K, I'm going to go down the dark side. I'll probably do a paid mentorship because, got to do what you got to do. Just trolling. The Discord's going to be free. But yeah, you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for tuning into the first stream. If you haven't, watch my most recent video. There is so many gems in there on how to actually make money on prop firms. So many gems. And also, I'll show you guys this for the one time. Let me make sure I don't dox myself. This is as of today. Hopefully this. Actually, let me do it. Actually, this is fine. Oh, this is our payout just to be. I think you can see it says 1,500. I just want to show you guys proof is in the pudding. It came from Top Step today at 6:11. So, in case you thought I was a fucking bullshit guy, but you guys have a good rest of your night. I will see you in the next one. Oh, someone do a Lamar Jackson edit. That'd be so tough. Is it left hand or right hand for Lamar Jackson?